Hey guys, sorry about this video being put up late. I saw the due date as today, and so I thought that meant I could submit the video today. I didn't realize it was supposed to be by Friday, so forgive me for that. But I did this exercise, this Lectio Divina, with a couple of my friends from Concordia, where I went to university, and one friend from seminary, and it was just interesting hearing all of their reactions to it. And so my two friends from Concordia, they actually, in the section where we're reflecting on like a word or phrase that stood out to us, both of my Concordia friends, Ryan and Kylie, they mentioned the verse that says to not look only to our own interests but also to the interests of others, and also that in humility we need to consider others as better than ourselves. And so we had a really good discussion about that kind of after things were done, and we just kind of expanded on what does that mean exactly. And what came out of it was really unique. We talked about how that passage has often been used to kind of talk about this like Christ-like humility, this Christ-like servanthood that we're meant to have, but it's also, which is really good, but it's also been kind of used in a negative way to put down ourselves, and it can lead to this type of view of self where we think really negatively about ourselves and we put down our own desires. We have a negative self-conception. And I thought that was interesting. I'd never really thought of that passage in a way where it was like a negative thing. I'd always thought, okay, this is the way we're meant to live. This is the example that Jesus has set for us. But yeah, it's actually really interesting. We talked about how there's been this kind of misunderstanding of what humility is, and we mentioned the C.S. Lewis quote of that humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. And I thought that was such an important distinction to make in this passage. It's not saying that we're terrible, because it does say in the phraseology that, depending on how you translate it, that look not only to your own interests, so that you can look to your own interests and take care of yourself and kind of take care of yourself in that sense, but that it's not only meant to stay there. Yeah, and so that was just really encouraging, and there was this discussion about what does it mean to be humble. And my friend from seminary, she was mentioning a few things that were standing out to her, the words and phrases, and the thing I thought was most significant was kind of that Jesus, again, he's setting the tone for us, and so he, being in very nature God, didn't consider that equality with God something to be held on to. And this is the phrase that she picked out, was made himself nothing. And that's also so important, that like Jesus, who didn't think negatively of his own identity, he just saw it as not something to be used for his own gain or his own advantage, but was the ultimate example of a servant by making himself nothing and coming to die and taking our place. And so Jesus, who ultimately has the best reason to have confidence in himself, chooses to be the servant of all. And I kind of like that way of thinking about it and understanding humility. So I'm looking forward to watching your guys' videos and seeing what you guys think about that. So I'll see you guys soon.